Hello YouTube, this is my 99 Slayer guide, and I will be showing you tips, where to go, a bank you will need for Slayer, tasks, do and don'ts, and how much money you will make overall. Enjoy! The first Slayer Master here is, I cannot remember his name at the moment. This is the first Slayer Master you'll use from 3 to about 30 combat, and, he is the worst, you'll get no points out of it, but if you're watching this video, you probably at least have already 50, so, yes. After you got that combat levels, you do not need a Slayer level to use this one. All you gotta do is go south of Edgeville Bank. I do recommend this one until about 75 all stats if you do not already. He does a lot of monsters in his dungeon area, and the Hill of Giants dungeon, which I call it, because that's where he is, I guess. That's like Kurdal. The next, you will want to use, Summoner. You need to complete smoking kills to do this, and you will need 35 Slayer. I will show you someone else you can use, but if you have this quest completed, I do recommend doing Summoner. Next, if you cannot unlock Summoner yet, which I really recommend doing that quest, you can do the Xanaris one. You will do either of these until you get 50 Slayer. In Xanaris, you have to complete Fairy Tale 1, at least, and to get there. From 50 to 75 Slayer, you will want to use the Slayer Master in Shiloh Village. You need to, of course, complete that quest, Shiloh Village. For this Slayer Master, if you do not like doing dragons, I would recommend going back to Sona and doing her till 75. That is what is recommended if you do not like doing dragons, because he assigns dragons and water fiends a lot. So, yeah. The last and final Slayer Master, which is the best, is Kurdal. You'll need to complete Barbarian Training mini quest to get here. And seriously, that quest only takes about 10 minutes, and it's a mini quest. That's why it's called that. To get here after this, you cannot bring a familiar to dive into it inside of the dungeon. You can, though. All you gotta do is jump through the whirlpool, and you will take this little path. You have to go through brutal green dragons to get there. So you end up in the ancient cavern. You about here. You want to go all the way down here until you basically get here. You'll see Kurdal, which you'll see on my screen right now. Kurdal is the best Slayer Master because it assigns good tasks, good XP, and great points. Next, I will be talking about weapons you will want to use during Slayer. These two weapons are recommended using during Slayer. A Chaotic Rapier, which requires 80 dungeoneering and 200,000 tokens. As you can see, it has great stats, and it wrecks through every single Slayer monster. But if you are poor, I recommend to use this weapon, the Abyssal Whip. It is a good weapon, and it's cheap. So if you can't afford the Chaotic Rapier because it's 2 mil every 10 hours of use, I would recommend using the Whip on tasks you don't make money, and the Chaotic Rapier, the ones you do make money. A Fire Cape is very useful during Slayer because it is the only cape with a strength bonus. That means you will be hitting way harder than you will be doing before. Next, there is the Salve Amulet, which requires the Haunted Mine quest to do, and then another mini quest to make it E. After you make it E, it's 15% better chances of hitting and harder hitting. So it's a great great amulet for Slayer to make you hit higher. The next armor would be Full Void, extremely low defense stats, but makes you hit 15% higher when you're wearing full of this. And I have Elite, so yeah. The last and final item I would recommend is the Dragon Defender, more strength bonus and more stab and slash. So when you're wearing a rapier with it, extremely better stats, so you can hit extremely higher. And yes, it is better than the whip when it equivalent to this. Actually, no, actually it's not, but okay. Okay, next I'll be showing you what points are. Next in Slayer, after every task you will receive points. And these points are used for buying weapons, or Slayer XP, learning how to make things, canceling your assignments, and co-op points. I will not describe co-op points, so that I'll make that another guide. Now, for points, the first thing I would recommend buying is the Slayer helmets, because Slayer helmets, when fully worn, give you 15% better strength, and I think 20 in attack when doing your Slayer task. That's why Slayer helmets are really recommended. But you do not need them, which I do not use one because I use full void in a lot of my tasks. The next I would recommend is the learn how to deliver killing blows faster. You do not have to click every time. Let's say you're doing gargoyles, you don't have to click each time using the rock hammer. Never quantities. They are a big pain, and no one would ever want to do that. But for the completionist cape, I think you might have to. If you want some good fletching experience, I would definitely recommend these at 600k per hour while making money. So, I would really recommend that. A Slayer ring can teleport you to different places, like the Slayer Tower, the Brimhaven dungeon, and that is also recommended because you can get there faster. Do not buy the single rings; they are a waste to save up for the ones where you can make them yourself. Slayer rings also work as the enchanted gem, which the enchanted gem tells you how much until you're done with your task. Canceling your assignments will make 30. If you have 30 points, you can cancel the current task once. If you need 100 points, never assign it again. These are the to-dos and to-don't tasks. The aberrant spectras are great EXP, and they are super fast as a Slayer task. I'll show you some other locations where you can find aberrant spectras. Remember the Smoking Kills dungeon? You go in here, if it'll load. Okay, then you see banshees. Enter this portal right up here, and there are aberrant spectras. This is the only area you can use a cannon when fighting the aberrant spectras, because you cannot bring a cannon inside the Slayer Tower. The next task you will be doing is Black Demons. They are decent effigy drops and a lot of crimson charms. You go down into the Slayer dungeon. You'll need a dusty key to get here, and you get that thing here. Or if you have 70 agility, you don't even have to do that. They are right here, and you can use a cannon in this area. Remember the dungeon where the Edgeville Master was? Well, this is the next Black Demon spot up here. I do not know if you can use a cannon in this area. The next ones are Bloodvelds. They are decent I can't say even the word, effigy drops, and they give a lot of green charms. There are two types, and at the Slayer Tower you cannot use a cannon in this one. The next spot I will be showing you is you need to complete the branches of Dark Mirror, and should be right over here. An easy way is to get that medallion to teleport over here, and you can go through into this dungeon, and then all you have to do is just go up it, and then you can set your cannon in there. So yeah, that's where the next place is. The next place is the Dagonoths. They are a great task because they give a lot of seeds, and they give a lot of XP. One of the best monsters in game, and you need to complete Horrors of the Deep to go in this spot, which is, if you can't enter this spot, I would recommend just canceling that task. You go down it, and then you just attack those Dagonoths. The next one you want to do is Dark Beasts. I'm only going to show you one area where you can find these, but there is two. They give great EXP, they are fast tasks, and they do give you somewhat a lot of money. The next place is Hellhounds. You will want to do this. It's the fast task with a cannon, and what was it? They give a lot of gold charms. Even though golds are the worst kind of charms, they do add up. They are a very fast task again, and good charms. And I recommend going to the resource dungeon because there's more hellhounds in that area. The next spot I cannot show you because you cannot look there. You want to do ice strike worms because they have a great drop of effigies and you can make a lot of money. But you only can do these on a Slayer task. To get there, you need a fairy ring code. The easiest way is DKS, and you will need to complete the Tale of Mustafa to get here. Yeah. The next spot is Iron or Steel Dragons. They are decent charms and decent EXP. Though it is a long task, it is probably pretty much worth it. The easiest way to get here is teleport to Ice Plateau, Frozen Waste Plateau, to get here, and then just walk right here. To get here, you need to do almost all of the Temple of Sinistine quest. But if you have not done this quest, I would not do it, because otherwise you will have to defeat Steel and Iron Dragons in the Brimhaven dungeon. But if you are 75 Slayer, you can use Crudel's dungeon, and if you can use it, I would recommend that too. The next place you'll be wanting to do Caliphites. They are very fast. That's the only reason why I recommend doing this. You see the Caliphite Hive. You just go in here, and yeah. I would recommend this camping up right here, where all the level 10 ones are. Just use a cannon, or you can just one-hit them almost. And yeah, they're super fast. Next is Mithril Dragons. Remember Curdell Dungeon? Well, you just come here, go up the first ladder up to your south right, or southwest, and you will go to Mithril Dragons. I do not recommend this task if you are low level, because you will be killing this thing with a polypore or a rapier, and these things are a very slow task. But if you do not kill them if you don't have a rapier, I do not recommend doing this task. Just cancel it. The next place I do recommend is going to Suquaz. They are a fast task, especially with a cannon. Just camp right here in this area. You'll need to complete Lunar Isle quest to get here, or at least do part of it. The next place is the Tahar. I would only recommend this if you are doing the Jad one, and if you're not good at Jad, then I do not recommend coming here, the Fight Caves, because if you are not good at Jad, then don't just cancel the task, because otherwise you'll not complete the task, and yeah, it's just annoying. So if you're good at Jad, do this task, but she'll ask you, well, if you get the Tahar task, if you want to do it special, say yes. Otherwise, if you accidentally don't, cancel it. Next is Firewatch. To get here, you will need to complete the branches of Darkmere to get to the top tower. And these are very fast XP, hitting 700s with the pole arm. And yeah, it's just a great EXP. It's really fast and it's decent. And you'll get make a little bit of money here. The next creature I would recommend doing is the Living Rock creatures. To get here, you will need to do no quests at all, but you need to get into this mine, and to get to this mine, you will need to have a rope, only the first time. And once this loads, I will show you. It is right next to Ice Mountain and Dwarven Mine, right there. The next place are Water Fiends. I do not recommend this task if you are low level, but if you're going for 99 summoning, I definitely would choose this task to do. There are 3 enter spots you can come here, which is the spot I like to go to. If you do not have a Titan, there's no point of coming in this spot. There's another spot you can go to. Water Fiends is right up here. It is multi, but in this space, in this spot, if you do not have a Chaotic Maul or Dominion, the gloves, the Goliath gloves, I do not recommend coming in this area. Once in the Crudel dungeon, the first spot you enter, if you're coming the first way or the fairy ring, there are water fiends here to kill if you do not have the 2 weapons I mentioned earlier, the Goliath gloves or the Chaotic Maul. For this, I would recommend any crushed weapon that will make it a lot faster. I will be not showing you the locations and the ones I do not recommend, because I just do not recommend them. Desert strike worms, because they're a pain to get to and just a pain to kill. Jungle strike worms stay in reason. The polypore creatures and the spiritual mages. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next guide, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.